get some sounds and the loop pedal. Just kind of seeing what I can come up with. Been working on my new studio space in the new apartment. Kind of setting up gear that I haven't used in a while. It's pretty fun. All right. So today I kind of want to just play some songs. I've got a Google Drive link that I will throw into the chat. It should be in the description, but I will also put that link into the chat. And today I just want to hang out a little bit and play some tunes. I'll be able to share my screen with you, so if you don't have the music or if you can't get those PDFs from Google Drive for one reason or another, I will be sharing it on the screen with you as well. So you should be able to access that drive. All right, so I've got a number of different songs that we could potentially play today. Um, and I kind of want to start off with a tune called Walkin' After Midnight. You may have heard it before. This song is in the key of C. We just have a couple of familiar chords and one kind of variation of a chord that you're probably familiar with that we might have to relearn a little bit. So the song is Walkin' After Midnight. Let me see if I can get the music up here for you so you can see what's going on. Let's see. Working on the video. Okay, there we go. All right. So here is the page, and let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on that so you can see all of these different chords that are happening. So it's a Patsy Cline tune. So we have C, F, and G, but we also have this F minor that's thrown in there. Now we can totally play this song without that F minor. The song will still work, but I really love the way that sounds. It's a very common move in a lot of styles of music, but definitely in country music, as you'll hear, that move is very recognizable. I'm going to go to two-page view here. So when we play the song, this is what we'll be looking at. These 2 pages here. So we're just reading from left to right there and playing through the tune. But before we do that, let me just transition back to me so I can show you what's going on with that F minor chord. So I'll kind of just gently strum through the beginning of the song so you can kind of get a sense of what it sounds like if you're a little less familiar with it. And I'll also show you how to play that F minor chord. So, oh, still got a little bit of delay on there. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. So there's that F minor. So a lot of times, oh, I'm losing my strap here. A lot of times you will hear in the case of the key of C, you'll hear an F chord followed by an F minor that resolves back to the C. Here we're doing an F minor to a G, resolving to C. We're still going to the same place. We're just taking a slightly different road. But that F minor creates an interesting color for the song. So your standard F chord looks like this, where I've got the second fret of the G string and the first fret of the E string, like so. And the F minor, I need to turn this A note and this A note. So the second fret of my G string is an A note, and the open A string is an A note. And I need to turn both of those into A flat notes in order to make this an F minor. So the first thing that I can do is move from the second fret of the G string to the first fret of the G string. That's great, but we still have this open A string to contend with. And we can't go any lower than an open string on that note, so I can't flat this A string without retuning it. So instead I'm going to replace that A note with another note from the F minor chord, which is a C note. And I'm going to play that right up here on the third fret of the A string. So now I have first fret of the G, open C, first fret of the E, and third fret of the A string. And there we have our F minor chord. There we are. All right, so I'm going to switch back to the song, and let's try playing through it. Okay, try zooming in a little bit more, find just the right balance to get all of that on the screen, and let's start strumming along. So I'm going to do a little bit of vamping on that first chord, just to kind of get us in the groove and in the mood. So you don't have to worry about playing this, but you can just strum a C chord along with this, and it'll sound really nice. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking. Here's that F minor. Midnight searching for you. I walk for miles along the highway. Well, that's just my way of saying I love you. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I stopped to see a weeping willow, crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. Forgot about that C7. And as the skies turn gloomy, night winds whisper to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just hoping maybe you're somewhere a-walking after midnight, searching for me. I'm just gonna play those verse chords. Nice. Out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight. Now we're gonna go to the second page and do that bridge again. Here we go. I stopped to see a weeping willow, crying on his pillow. Maybe he's crying for me. And as the skies turn gloomy, night winds whisper to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I'm out walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just hoping maybe you're somewhere a-walking after midnight, searching for me. There we have Walking After Midnight. I think I misplaced one of those chords. I think the G chord. That's what I say. I think right here, that G should actually be over here, over the U, but we all make mistakes, don't we? Anyhow, that is Walking After Midnight. And let's switch back to here. As you can see, I'm wearing my rodent shirt. It's very nice. My sister gave this to me. I am very into the odd shirts, and I can always count on my sister to hook me up with an odd shirt. All right, so let's see what else we have. I've got a long list of songs here that we could be playing. I am gonna move over to another song that I started playing. I want to say it was a number of years ago. I'm pretty sure it was on the Outer Banks. My spent some time on the Outer Banks, working at a campground, and this was one of the tunes that I learned how to play there. This song is called Rocky Top, and you can find this in a lot of different collections. It is in the Daily Ukulele, the Yellow Book collection. I believe it's in this key, in the key of C, as you'll see it in there. And we've got a couple fun chords in there. We've got a B flat. So if you're not familiar with a B flat, I'll go over that real quick. I don't think there are any other big surprises. We've got C's and F's, A minors, G7s. So standard fare for a lot of songs that you'll probably be seeing on the ukulele. Okay, so we've got our C, F, C, A minor, G7, and C. Now, the thing about this song is the chords move kind of quickly through the song. Wish that I was on down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smarty smoke on Rocky Top. Ain't no telephone bills. So these chords kind of move along rather briskly. I'll try and play it slow. I have a tendency to want to just go really fast with this tune. But then let's take a look at that chorus. Rocky Top, you'll always be. Here's that B flat. Home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. So we're moving really quickly between all these chords. So we want to just watch out for that speed and be looking ahead at what those next chords are going to be. Okay, so don't worry if you lose your place here and there. That's going to be totally fine. You can always catch up and jump back in whenever you're ready. I don't have any specific tricks for playing that B flat chord, other than just the standard fare of playing a bar chord, holding my pointer finger down across all of the strings, ring finger on the third fret of the G, middle finger on the second fret of the C string, and then my pointer finger, most of the effort of my pointer finger is just on those top two strings, the E string and the A string. So I don't need to push down as hard with the tip of my finger. In fact, right now, I think if I let everything else go, yeah, I'm not even getting a note out of that G string. So I don't need to worry about pushing down really hard on all the strings. I just want to make sure that the important strings that I need for this chord are depressed there. So I don't have to do as much work with the tip of my pointer finger. So I don't have to worry about squeezing my whole hand. But there's a little B flat for you. All right, let's switch over to the song. And let's play through this tune. And again, I'll try and keep the tempo reasonable. Another thing about this PDF here, the way that I write out a lot of these songs, and I kind of picked up on it from other folks as well, is I will highlight the chorus. So I only have to write it out one time, and anytime I see that highlighted word chorus highlighted in yellow there, it just means I'm going to go back to the chorus up here. Okay. So starting off at the top, I'm going to play through the chords of the verse without singing first, just to kind of set the scene. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wish that I was on old Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once I had a girl on Rocky Top, half bear, other half cat. Wild as a mink, but sweet as soda pop, I still dream about that. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Cool. I'm going to just strum through those verse chords again so we can get our bearings. Once two strangers climbed old Rocky Top looking for a moonshine still. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, reckon they never will. Corn won't grow at all on Rocky Top, dirt's too rocky by far. That's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar. Back to the chorus. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Now I'm going to play those verse chords again. And then we're going to go to that last verse here. I'll do that again. Here we go. I've had years of cramped up city life, trapped like a duck in a pen. All I know is it's a pity life can't be simple again. To the chorus. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. I'm going to jam on just the C chord for a little bit here, and then I want to play that chorus again because it's a really fun chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. There we are with a little Rocky Top. Again, really, really fun tune. I really like playing that song. I tend to get kind of punk rock with that song when I am left to my own devices and get pretty into it. So definitely a fun tune to play, whether it be fast or slow. Let's see. Let's do a couple more. This song, I have done I've done video tutorials for a lot of these songs individually. Rocky Top, there's a video on Tiny Village Music if you want to spend some more time with that one and play through that one. There are, is there a, I'm just trying to think back. I don't think I've done a tutorial on Walking After Midnight yet. I could be wrong, because sometimes I do things and forget that I do things. But that's an interesting one because When I play that on guitar, I have a very specific arrangement and very specific things. And when I'm playing it on the ukulele, it's a bit closer in feel to Patsy Cline's recording of the song. So I usually wouldn't make a tutorial of one of my kind of interpretations of a song the same way that I would this version. So I think I need to go back and do a tutorial on Walking After Midnight, assuming that I haven't already. But this next song I have recorded a tutorial on. And this song here is a classic Disney tune. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and share the music first, and then we can look a little more closely at what's going on. So this is Winnie the Pooh, and it's a really sweet song. And as a lot of these early Disney tunes um, have some interesting chords going on in them. So I want to take a look at some of these odd chords that we've got. Pardon me. Okay. So we've got these a G7, C7. You're probably familiar with F, D7, G minor 7. We've got this F major 7, really fun chord to play. A minors, everything else is probably stuff that you're familiar with, but that G minor 7, the F major 7, those are probably going to be ones that, if anything, you might be a little less familiar with. We do have a B7 down here, which we can take a look at as well. So before we play through it, well, actually, let's play through a little bit first, just to get a sense of what we're getting ourselves into. Okay. So that first verse is an excellent way to kind of dip our toes into a song with all of these complicated chords. So I'm going to switch back to me so I can show you on my ukulele how we're playing all of those chords. Okay, get in a little bit closer here. Probably should have played with the lighting a little bit more, but we can work with this. Okay, G minor 7 is a fun one. I'm very fond of the G minor 7 chord. It's very similar to the B flat chord that we were playing earlier, right? So before I was playing B flat like this, I had my pointer finger holding down the the first frets of the A string and the E string, and then my middle finger, second fret of the C string, ring finger, third fret of the G string. All I'm going to do is remove my ring finger from the third fret of the G string, so that G string is ringing out open, and that gives me that G minor 7. It's a really neat chord. Those seventh chords are always fun, pretty rich sounding. So we're going from that G minor 7 to a C7, followed by an F. I love this move, going from an F to a D7. Now I'm playing D7 this way with these open strings. So I have a second fret of the G, open C, second fret of the E, and open A. I'm going to play those first four chords again, the G minor 7, C7, F, D7. When I play this first verse, I'm playing it very freely and slowly like this. So I'm kind of taking my time. There's still rhythm to it, but I am kind of uh, speeding up and slowing down as I'm feeling the song. Again, wistfully, kind of moving through these chords. Deep in the 100-acre wood, where Christopher Robin plays. Ah, that F major 7. I love the F major 7 on the ukulele. It sounds really, really great. So I played that C7, that shape that you're familiar with. But then I jump over here, and I'm playing the 5th frets of the G string and the C string, and then I've got my open E and A strings. Now, if I'm playing this on the my high G ukulele, it'll sound like that. So I've just got a little bit of a different texture with my low note down here. Now that can be a little bit tough to grab, especially if I have to grab it quickly in the second verse when we're speeding things up and we're playing things at a more stable rhythm. It's more important that I get right to that F major 7. And if I'm having a little bit of trouble getting two fingers, especially two fingers that I may be less comfortable using, my ring finger and my pinky in this instance, it might be a little bit easier for me to just grab one note. So if you only able to grab one note, I would recommend just grabbing the 5th fret of the C string. It sounds a little bit weird on the low G, but on high G, that will actually sound pretty cool. Oops. Like that. And that gives you an F major 9 chord. Really, really rich, pretty chord. It's only one finger to play that, so just the 5th fret of the C string, everything else is open, and we just get this nice, rich, fancy chord that you can play with just one finger. So, whether you play the F major 7 with two fingers or the F major 9 with one finger, it's going to sound really neat there, and it will work just fine. And that is just about all we. Oh no, we do have in the second part. We have D minor chord showing up in there, so D minor like this, and then B7 is going to show up in the chorus a little bit later on when we're singing about Winnie the Pooh. So there I'm barring across the 2nd fret of all my strings, and my middle finger is on the 3rd fret of the C string. Again, as we've, oops, I'm getting a little bit of crackle. I don't know where that crackle's coming from. The joy of electronic stuffs. With that, when we're playing bar chords, they are movable. That is my favorite thing about bar chords, is that if you have to learn one, you're like, oh gosh, I have to push down all these strings at once. Just remember that you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're not just learning a B7, you're learning a C7, C sharp 7, D7, and so forth and so on. Okay, but let's give Winnie the Pooh a try. And don't worry if this doesn't come to you right away. If you're into this song, you can jump over to the full tutorial on Tiny Village Music on the right here on YouTube, and find the tutorial for this very song. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start off nice and freely. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Deep in, oh, sorry. All right, I'm gonna do that again. 1, 2, 3. Deep in the 100-acre woods, where Christopher Robin plays. 1, 2. You'll find the enchanted Christopher's childhood days. Here's where things are going to pick up and get a little bit more steady. 2, 3, 4. A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kanga and Little Roo. There's Rabbit and Piglet, and there's Owl, but most of all, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Willy-nilly, silly old bear. So again, I love the song. I think it's a beautiful chord progression with a really fun melody over it, and yeah, really tricky for a kids tune. A lot of times we associate music that's written for children to be easy, and I don't think that song is necessarily easy. So again, if you want to take a deeper dive into it, if you're less familiar with some of those chords, then I would highly recommend checking out my tutorial right here on YouTube. Now, I am live right now, but you might not be watching this live. So if you are finding that you want to engage, but you're not able to make these live videos, you're watching later, whatever the case may be, you can feel free to email me, tinyvillagemusic@gmail.com, and drop me a line, say, hey, can you go over this in a little bit more detail? Or I would love to see you play this song. How do you do that? Any questions that you might have, be it of a former video or something that you would like to see in a future video, definitely let me know. So you don't have to be live with me chatting in the chat here. You can chat with me over space and time. One of the wonderful things about technology here. I want to do one more song, and this one might be a song that you are a little, I don't know, you might be less familiar with it. You might be very familiar with it. But I love this song, and I'm gonna try and line up the page here and share it with you so you can see what's going on. This is excellent because it's only 2 chords. This is A Love Bazaar by Sheila E. It's a very cool tune. And as you can see, it's just 2 chords there. So we are just playing an F chord and a D minor chord. And that's all we've got going on. I'm going to switch over to an acoustic instrument. No. We're feeling a little bit better. I think I've got to clean out some equipment here. We're getting lots of noises going on. But we just have 2 chords here. We just have an F and a D minor. Now this page here wasn't specifically arranged for teaching, so it is very. It might be a little weird to read. I only have these 2 chords written down. These right here are lyrics. The song starts off with singing A, B, C, D, and then it goes into the song. So those are actually just lyrics, not chords. The only chords that we are looking at are F and D minor, and we're just repeating it throughout the entire thing. So I only wrote that just to give myself a little clue as to what I'm doing, and then I'm just playing the same rhythm with those same 2 chords throughout the whole piece. If you are less familiar with the song, you might like having more chord names written in next to the lyrics that can really help with figuring out where the lyrics fall within the song and where the chord changes happen. But again, this was just written for my own reference, and I just thought it would be fun to play together today. So I'm going to play this in the key of F. So we will play this in the key of F together. It is originally in the key of F sharp, as I note up here. And I was kind of going back and forth between playing it in F or G when I was playing it on the ukulele. But if we do play it in F sharp, it can be a really nice challenge and practice holding a couple of those bar chords. And as we do some other little movements in this song, little melody lines or solos or something like that, playing in F sharp can give us an opportunity to explore maybe some parts of the ukulele that we are less familiar with. And where the song is only 2 chords throughout the entire thing, that makes it a little bit even easier to experiment, or at least very comfortable to experiment. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this song off. We're just getting some dirty sounds in there. All right, so I'm going to start off, I'm going to switch back to me, and I'm going to start off by laying down a loop. So I've got a little loop pedal down here. So I am going to be playing chords. So I'll play the F maybe over here. Use my fingers. There's the D minor, back to the F. And D minor. F. D minor. Now, the loop pedal has got that taken care of. Maybe I'll do a little bit more layers on there to kind of just give it a little bit more texture. Hear that groove. Right? And I happen to have my wah-wah pedal hooked up, so maybe I want to do a little bit of that. Again, this is one of the really cool things about having a loop pedal is I can put all of these layers together on a simple song like this where it's just 2 chords, and I can build up if I want to, or I can just have a little groove and I can take a couple solos if I want to. This is also an excellent way to practice playing by yourself. You can record a part like this, and then you can take the time to practice maybe a melody on top of it. So if you don't have another person to play with, this can be an awesome opportunity to get that kind of ensemble feel. Right? So I can practice playing some notes. Jump into the song and play through and strum any way that you'd like. Again, we're just going back and forth. F 2 3 4 1 2 3 D minor 2 3 4 1 2 3 and back to F. And that's all we're doing for the whole thing. So let's give the song a go. Shines down upon our skin, whispering words scream an outrageous what we are. We all want a love bazaar. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. A strawberry mind, a body that's built for two. Kiss on the spine, do things we never do. Swallow the pride, the joy, the ivory tower. We'll dance on the roof, make love on a bed of flowers. But that's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. Alright, we can just take a little solo here. Just kind of play around. I'm tempted to jump into some of my some electric stuff, but I'm afraid that it'll be too wild. Let's see. It's not bad. A little bit of electric guitar sound there. So let's go into that last verse now. So back to the moon up above that shines down upon our skin. Here we go. The moon up above shines down upon our skin. Whispering words and scream of outrageous sin. We all want this stuff that's found in our wildest dreams. It gets kind of rough in the back of our limousines. But that's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. Let's kind of close it out here now. That's what we are. We all want a love bazaar. Right, that is fun. So you can easily get lost in those kinds of patterns and all sorts of effects. Of course, that I'm doing with this electric ukulele here, but we can do the same thing, and I often do the same thing with my acoustic instruments as well, plugging them through a loop pedal. Jake Shimabukuro will frequently use loop pedals and all sorts of effects. I'm sure you've heard some of that stuff. If not, it's definitely worth checking out. Just kind of seeing the power and range of the ukulele in some really interesting settings. So super fun stuff. So thank you very much for taking the time and hanging out with me. Again, there should be a link to the Google Drive folder that has these songs that I played today, as well as some other songs that I was kind of thinking about. Yeah, why don't you go check those out? If you need something a little extra to play, drop me a line at tinyvillagemusic@gmail.com if you have any particular questions or requests about something that you would like me to cover in one of these videos. So also make sure to check out the shorts that I've been recording every Wednesday. I drop a Wednesday lick right here on YouTube. I just did "Crazy on You" by Heart, and I've got some a little punk rock tune coming up next week. So, and tabs are all going to be available for those. So make sure that you keep your eye on those shorts for some fun little riffs and licks. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Again, tinyvillagemusic@gmail.com with any questions, and I will talk to you in the next one. Take care.